I've noticed this more and more with people who kind of internalize the fact that they feel like they're unlovable. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nobody can love this part of me. You know what I'm saying? They love what I show them. They love the happy-go-lucky. They love, you know what I'm saying? The person that I work hard to make go outside, like my representative. You know what I'm saying? I work hard to make a piece of me look very, very good to others. That's what they love. But who loves me? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, sounds a lot better.
Well.
I think maybe we should start the podcast just like that. Are you ready? I think she's ready, guys. I think Chantel. Oh my gosh! Do you guys hear what I deal with? Oh my! Why is it so good? Like, I don't understand why it's so. I'm like, go again. I'm like, how do you even get there?
I can't. I can't. I'm a nut, y'all. I'm crazy.
Let's just go ahead and get the intro into the podcast. That was just too. That's how we get open it. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. Where we unpack those bags. If you're ready to unpack, say yeah. If you're ready to unpack your bag, say yeah. See, you did it. I told you.
The facial expression.
Say yeah.
Okay, we got. I'm sweating. Oh my gosh, that was the craziest intro we've ever done. Oh my lord.
Are we recording?
We're already on. Okay. We're gonna keep this whole. That's the intro, guys. Welcome to the new intro of Unpack Your Bag.
Sorry.
Podcast. Well, we're episode 27 now. Finally, officially. How are you doing, Mrs.?
Yeah. I'm good. I feel good. To everybody who was like, what the hell did we just click on to? We didn't mean to scare you, but
oh man,
I'm a little bit goofy, so.
A little bit? That's more like a lot of bit, if you ask me.
I don't know.
That's so good.
It's funny because that's not even like me being super goofy. That's just me being regular.
I don't want to see super goofy.
That's just me being regular.
I don't know if I can handle it. I'm pretty goofy, but I think you might take the cake. Probably, to be honestly.
Probably.
I thought I was really goofy.
I love a good laugh.
You know what I'm saying? Do you like corny stuff though?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like,
See, we finally got Anthony to find his inner shout, y'all.
I can't be in the choir. I'm not in the choir.
He found his inner shout. He found his inner shout. It takes a brave Christian, okay, to find their inner shout.
It takes a brave Christian
to release it live on camera.
Oh man, I'm sweating. Look how much effort I was putting in. See,
you know how much love for Jesus that you need to master like a good Christian shout, because people could do it, right? But it's not gonna sound. They're not gonna sound whole and
like
fulfilled.
legit.
Yeah.
You know when the Holy Spirit's there.
Yeah. Yes.
You got a little bit.
No, and you gotta do that.
Like they chuckle.
You need the.
You have that dialed in perfectly.
We gotta stop. I've been in church my whole life. Like
you have it dialed in.
I heard a lot of preaching. I've been in church.
You are perfect with that. I'm not gonna lie. That was great. But let's go ahead and get into these topics today. We're gonna ask a couple questions. I'm asking Chantel some questions. Dive a little deeper and unpack the bag. Okay. Mm-hmm. So first question off the top.
Of the dome.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a habit of keeping secrets from others that causes ongoing shame or problems in your life? Yes, no, maybe so, and care to explain.
That keep ongoing shame, like in your life?
Yes.
That perpetuate ongoing shame in your life? No. I'm just gonna be honest. In general, I don't have a lot of secrets.
Okay, but you do have some secrets.
No. Honestly, not really. No.
I don't really have a lot of secrets.
No, I don't.
But I don't have none.
I probably have like one or two. I feel like everybody got like a good one or two.
Everybody. There's things that I don't tell everybody. Yeah, there's things I'll probably never disclose.
But it's like a one or two thing. You know what I'm saying? Like one or two of those things. But Is there a secret that I'm keeping that causes ongoing shame?
Yeah, or something that like it's like,
No.
oh, like I wish I didn't do this, but nobody really knows about it. But dang, like I'm such a terrible person because of this.
No. Like,
Okay.
no. I mean, there are times where I'd be like, I feel like I'm a terrible person, right? I feel like everybody feels that way. Like, oh, dang, you ain't shit. You just did X, Y, and Z. Like,
You messed up.
yeah. I feel like everybody goes through that. That's something that's pretty natural, but that causes ongoing shame, I think, is like the key portion of that question.
Yeah.
No. There's nothing that causes ongoing shame to where like I constantly feel like I ain't shit or I constantly feel bad about a particular thing. No.
What about the causes like long term or life problems in general?
A secret? No.
Okay.
A secret? No. But again, like it depends on what we define to be as a secret. So for me, I don't have a lot of secrets, but for people listening, it might be like, there's this thing that I experienced, right? Like, and that causes me to act in this way. That causes me to, you know what I'm saying? Act out in this way. It shows up in my life in this way. I'm like this because of this, right?
Okay.
I think that's more common, but a secret?
No, don't think so.
I mean, for people, it may be secrets. You know what? I am very comfortable with myself.
Okay.
Like super.
Even the flaws and everything.
Yes. I mean, I have moments, right? But for the most part, I think overall I'm pretty comfortable with myself and who I am.
Okay, I understand.
Even the fucked up shit, right? That's like, you know.
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
Right?
But you're like, oh, okay, you know, I'm still human and I messed up.
I'm still human. I know I messed up. And bigger than that is I know that I don't want to stay this way, right? And I honestly think that to progress, in order to address the things that you want to change, there has to be a certain level of comfort with where you are now, right? You have to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? All that you are in order to even get to a place where you're like, I want to fix that, right? Because if you don't have a certain level of comfort and love for yourself presently, I don't think you'll ever get to a point where you're fixing something, right? Because then it's like everything needs to be fixed, or what's the point? Because all of me is flawed, right? So it's like a fighting uphill, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point of fixing this when all of me is fucked up, right?
Okay.
So I think that in order to really get to a point where you're trying to fix certain things about yourself and actually do the work of fixing those things, you kind of have to love everything about you, even the fucked up shit.
And I think that's where people get shame from, because they're like, the things that they're keeping a secret that they don't want anybody to know are causing them to not love themselves, which is why they kind of maybe have the shame of like, if I tell people this is how I really am, you know, then they're going to treat me this way. Or for example, maybe like they've told somebody something about themselves, you know, that they weren't necessarily proud of. And then it caused those people to like, you know, separate or distance. They turn that rationale into like, well, if I'd show my true self,
right,
then this XYZ happens. And that may be only one or two people that happen to, but those moments of like, those invalidation feelings are way stronger than the validating feelings. So then they may revert back like, well, I don't want to expose that to myself, so I can wear a mask, and I don't want to have that shame again, because if I expose this part of me, if I tell you my deepest, darkest secret, this caused people to run. So, and maybe that could be a scenario too, you know, but I don't know. I
think what you said is very, very true, even to the point where you see, I've noticed this more and more with people who kind of internalize the fact that they feel like they're unlovable. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nobody can love this part of me. You know what I'm saying? They love what I show them. They love the happy-go-lucky. They love, you know what I'm saying? The person that I work hard to make go outside, like my representative. You know what I'm saying? I work hard to make a piece of me look very, very good to others. That's what they love. But who loves me? You know what I'm saying? All of me, the deep stuff, the dark stuff, the fat stuff. You know what I'm saying? The skinny stuff. You know what I mean? Like, who loves that? And I think that's something that's really big and more prevalent in present day society, even present day millennials, then I would say period. Like, I think there's quite a few millennials who go through significant self-esteem and insecurities and mental health things than not. I think it's really, really prevalent amongst millennials, and I think that, you know, a lot of that is a credit to social media and the way that we prioritize that in our lives.
No, I 100%. I think that's good. And I think for millennials, I think what a lot they're missing is, I think a lot of what they're missing in general is a lot of like authenticity, because a lot of times we're seeing these projected forms of personality and things, the way people are living, and it's always in a comparison of yourself. Like if you go look on Instagram, you see people like the highlight reel of their life, and you think that's their everyday life. But we're not watching the fact that they're depressed because both their parents just got murdered, you know what I'm saying? But they're in a yacht in like CABO. You know what I'm saying? So
that was very extreme and very
I know,
dark.
but I'm saying like what I'm saying. I know
Where'd
that's
you go?
or I mean like let's use some depression. Okay, like I'm
they
secretly
just
depressed.
got murdered on a yacht in CABO.
But you have pictures of you
on the
and
next
you know
48.
you have pictures of you in CABO like living your best life, you know, but then you're secretly battling depression and suicide every day.
Right.
So like we don't the part of I think if you expose the truth of yourself,
people put the best version of themselves on social media.
Yeah.
The best possible version of themselves. And I can think, and I'm not even a person who social media plays a big portion of their lives, right? Like I do have some. I have a Facebook, a Twitter, and Instagram. My Facebook is open and people can do it, but it's not on my phone. Like I don't log into it. Same thing with my Twitter. I have Instagram, and that's pretty much,
okay.
you know, it. But even what the stuff that I post, right? Like you put the best version of yourself out there. Part of that is a good thing, but part of that is a bad thing because of the way that people internalize it. Yeah. Right? Like the way that people internalize it is her life is better than mine because of this picture that she posted or because of the way that this looks. Right? And I think there's more people who won't even admit that those things affect them in a mental, physical space. You know what I mean? In an emotional space. They won't even admit that it affects them, but I think it does. Like a lot. And it's really interesting because like, you know, we're talking about like putting on a mask kind of thing, like representative. It's funny because it actually is completely counterintuitive to like healing yourself, because if you think about it, you keep putting this mask on, and the mask on gets you the things you want, right? So say I'm gonna show you the best parts of me, and then in turn you accept those best parts, right? But that also means you neglecting the parts that I don't like, which continues to further my distance, which makes me put on a mask even farther, and that's why I always feel so alone. Even though I'm telling everybody about me, I feel completely alone. Like imagine that, like that deserves a shout.
And the more you, the more you wear the mask, the farther you get from yourself.
Yes, the more distance you are from who you are, who you want to be.
And then the more alone you become, even though you're a popular person and in the spotlight, you still feel alone. And we're like, why do you feel alone? You have tons of people, you talk to everybody and stuff, but it's like you don't see they don't know me. I feel alone because nobody knows these parts about me that I can't share because I got the results I want from when I share my representative. When I share this to people, they've all ran. And when I share this, they stay, and this is what I want. But then I want them to stay. But then I'm alone, and I feel lonely, even though they're staying now. There. So it's a bigger problem that I think we got to discuss more, because it's prevalent in the millennial era.
So then the question is what do you do? Like, because I can understand that thought process, and I can understand kind of that feeling, like that's something that maybe I've done or felt a time or two where it's like, yes, I feel alone. Yes, you know, even though I have all these people, right?
Yes.
But again, you're not going to show them all of you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, first of all, you can't, right? It's not like you could just walk up and show everybody that you meet all of who you are, right? Like that takes time, that takes trust, that takes, you know, energy. Like that takes a minute, right? So the friends that you have around you, no, you can't. It's almost impossible to show everyone all of you. But at the same time, what's more important? Do you want to keep the people around, right? Or do you want to have more authentic relationships? Is it better to have, you know, 15 friends, or is it better to have 2 of them niggas that you know you could depend on?
Exactly.
Or is it better to have 0 for a minute to wait on the authentic people? Like, what's better? Is it better to rock solo for a minute till you get what it is that you're looking for?
And if you look at that scenario, even if you have 0 friends, even if having 15 friends but they're all fake, you still feel alone. So you might as well go 0 and be authentic. But you say, like, what do you do?
Because having 0 friends ain't no fun.
Right, it's understandable, but I think how you beat this is you start with showing small parts of you to people. So you have to start small. Like you don't have to divulge like, oh, I have some freaking crazy thoughts, but you can just start with something small, like, oh, I've experienced depression before. Say it's a hidden thing.
Like how?
But yeah, you talk about it. You talk.
So you going out?
No, you take somebody who you trust the most.
So let's set it up, right?
Okay.
Let's set it up, right? So if you have, granted, there are people that you have in your life, but some of them you just kick it with, right?
Yeah.
Like some of them you just kicking it with. We going out for drinks, party, laugh, right? You have those friends, right?
Yeah.
So if you have the party, we drinking, laugh friends, when do you say, you know what? I've experienced depression at times in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, that's awkward.
I mean, it's not.
Not with the drinks.
Well, it depends on your setting. You got to wait for the
at the club.
No, you're not going to be at the club like, hey, I'm depressed. Yeah, drink. You know, that's not really the scene. You know, but before you guys even get to the club, when you're in the car ride talking.
On the way to the turn up, you want to talk about depression?
No, I'm saying you're looking for opportunities to talk about it before you're in the zone where you can't talk, right?
I got you.
So you can either do it before, or you can say, hey, before we go, let's meet up real quick.
But you know, the friendship was built on turn-ups.
I know, but you can also divulge little parts of yourself. You don't have to tell them everything or the whole thing or how bad it is.
Right.
But you can drop a little seed of the truth to see how they feel, see if they're responsive, to see if this is a trustworthy friend. It's not we have 15 friends, right? Out of 15 friends, maybe 1 or 2 of them may be responsive. But if you don't give them the whole pie. You just give them a sliver and see how they handle that. You know, and then you go from there. If anybody who is responsive, then you can add a little more and then have a discussion, and that starts to show the truer part of you than you showed anybody else before. And they're probably like, "Oh, I never knew that about you. Wow, that's so crazy. I never knew you had that problem. I do too." But that's how you start. You don't start with giving you all of it. You start with a little spot that you can unpack a little bit. So you just start a little bit at a time. You don't do it all.
So find the moments with people, right, that you trust a little bit. But here's the thing, right, because we talked about this not too long ago, just the way that creates a vulnerability that's awkward to experience, right? Because at that moment, right, on the way to the club, not on the way to the club.
Is there anything else? We can't even club right now. It's Corona season. We can't club anyway.
Okay, fine. On the way to the game nights, or you know what I'm saying? On the way to game night, house party. On the way to hang out, chill, have drinks. And you divulge that information, right? Or you're trying to, you know what I mean? Or even, I think the better thing to do would be like, hey girl, you want to have lunch, right? Like, hey girl, let's do this and hang out on a one-on-one thing. I love hanging out with my friends one-on-one. But that's a me thing. But like, even in that, what it does is it creates this really vulnerable space where you're telling somebody something and you're looking at them and you're giving them the power in that moment to be like, what? Bitch, you said what? And it might not even happen like that, but the way that it happens is like they don't call back, right? Or the way that it happens is like, oh, you see them hanging out on a Friday, the group you used to hang out with, they hanging out with pictures on Instagram and you wasn't invited, right? You like, you know what I'm saying? So you get the subtle message that they don't really fuck with you like that.
I understand. So, I can understand that.
You know what I'm saying? So then it's like,
which can hurt? Which can hurt?
I don't like them anyway.
Okay, excuse me. Which can hurt, but what's worse? Continuing
what I just explained.
Living to lie and always feeling alone, or knowing that this person is not your friend.
Okay, so feeling alone. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, feeling alone isn't like blunt outward rejection, right? That's like subtle rejection, right? Because you don't really know. Maybe the reason that you're alone, it could be a whole bunch of reasons, right? The fact that you are alone and that you feel alone, right? Okay. But the fact that these niggas ain't call you back after you told them you just struggle with depression is like straight up boom, boom, boom. We don't fuck with you like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like
I can understand.
It's a little bit more. One is a little bit more subtle.
I can understand that.
So it hurts a little bit more. The subtle thing, you can always keep your mind from going there. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you don't know that to be true, so let's think about this. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying?
I can totally understand. Totally understand. But I think
how come y'all didn't call me?
So in that case, you're still lonely when you're friends with them.
But at least I'm not in the house thinking about it. Like facts. At least think I'm not in the house thinking about me being lonely. If I'm out, you know what I'm saying, drinking, having a good time, laughing and joking, girl, you so crazy. I'm not in the house thinking about it that way.
But okay. So is there some truth that then that means you need to work on some things yourself, or it will show that those people are not your real friends, which you might need real friends, or those friends are meant for nothing else but
it does both.
this thing.
It does both.
It illuminates who they are and puts them in perspective of, I know who they are now. These friends are not meant to be my close friends.
It does both.
You know?
It does both.
But I can understand what you're saying. The rejection thing is hard. I'm not saying it's easy. But if you want to not feel lonely, the only way to not feel lonely is to divulge your true self.
If you've been rejected.
We get rejected, men.
When you get rejected.
It hurts. It hurts. We understand.
I need y'all to tell me, when you get rejected, it hurts.
It hurts.
Like, it hurts. Like, and I think maybe we're underestimating, like, on this podcast as we're talking about it, how much it's really like, damn.
No. It hurts. No, it hurts. But it's just like when you sell something. When you hear no the first time you try to sell something to anybody, it's going to feel like they personally. I'm just saying, so think about the analogy. If you first are trying to sell a product, think about if you're trying to sell a product you just made in love. Say you just made some hair care product, Chantel's curls, whatever. You know, we'll talk about it in a second. Right? We'll talk about that in a second. Right? And you built this product and you show it, and the first person to come out is, no, I don't want that. That's going to hurt, right? But after rejecting something that you make is different from you yourself personally being rejected. I'm putting in the category to explain. Gotcha. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm just showing another. Go. Okay. It's gonna hurt really bad the first time, and the second or third time, fourth time, it's gonna be kind of bad. But then you get used to hearing no. That when people, it doesn't. After so many times, it doesn't hurt that bad. After so many times being rejected, you're just like kind of numb, like, well, whatever. Because there's always so many different reasons why somebody can reject you. It could be the time in their life. That could be they were actually going through depression themselves and didn't even want to talk about it to anybody. And they felt like they could feel like you saw that in them, and that's why they don't want to talk to you. Because they're now afraid and show and to have their mask on. It could be the fact that there was just the wrong timing. They were trying to party mode and didn't want to have no negativity. It could be like a myriad of situations and variables that can create that no or that rejection. It doesn't have to be a personal, I don't like you. It's just, in this mode, I can't deal with that. And maybe they're not man enough to have the conversation.
I'm having trouble envisioning a moment where being rejected is less painful. Even if you've seen a string of rejections. Even if you've been rejected or somebody's told you no 15 times. The 16th time, it's still gonna hurt. I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna be as bad. It's always bad. I said as bad. No. As bad. No. It's always bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, like, being broke is being broke. Okay. If I'm broken, I'm broken. It hurt, period. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. There's not a moment where, like, you just the pain is less. Yeah, you just a little bit broke. Ain't no little bit broke. It hurt. I don't agree. Because, I mean, from my point of view, okay, we'll use another scenario. Imagine being rejected by people or opposite sex a lot. After a while, you don't really care about being rejected. It's not that big of a deal. Some say yes, some say no, some say nothing. So then let me ask you this. Is that your representative saying that, or is that you saying that, right? Because what you're describing are ways that people put on facades to deal with being hurt, right? Yeah. The way that people put on faces to deal with rejection, right? Yeah, But once you take the facade away, once you remove, you know what I'm saying, the representative, if you will, it still hurts. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I'm just saying, after you experience so many hurts, the hurts don't hurt as bad. They will still hurt. It never feels good to be rejected. Each person. Yeah. It really is true. It comes down to the individual person. I think we can agree or disagree on this one. Air shake? Oh! I'm going to need a minute. I'm just playing. No. Air shake. No. That's a good time to agree or disagree. Wow, this is the first moment in the podcast. That's because usually I win. Oh my, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. Look at that cocky. Woo. Okay. The next question. So since you want to be cocky, what happened to your curls? What happened to your straight hair? Huh? I can recall last week when we talked, you said I have straight hair and you're going to rock it for until December. And I said I give it till next week. And it is clearly 7 days from the last time I saw you, and your hair looks completely different. Do you care to explain, Miss Cocky One?
But it does look really pretty. Yes.
Thank you, Michaela.
It does look, but it does look nice. It does look nice. Both ways look nice. Not knocking the way it looks.
I'm not talking to you because you tried to sneak this in You tried to sneak this in earlier into the conversation, and I didn't say nothing. I let it slide. Now all of a sudden you want to make a segment.
You know, I just wanted to add that in there. Okay. It's
water is wet. Okay.
Oh, really?
Fat meat is greasy.
Did you hear that debate? Water is wet and water's not wet. Water is wet.
Fat meat is greasy. Water is wet.
Hold on. Let's Google that.
Eggs got shells.
Is water wet? Someone had to made a really good explanation.
Look, fat meat greasy too. Now what? Fat meat is greasy.
Is water wet?
Is wet.
Water isn't wet by itself, but it makes other materials wet when it sticks to the surface
it's wet.
of them.
I don't care. I don't give a damn.
Water
what
isn't wet.
Said.
It makes things wet.
Now Google is. Now you know what else you can Google. Google is fat meat greasy.
Not Googling
Why don't you Google that?
All right, let's go to the next question.
Why don't you Google that?
All right, let's go to the next.
Google that. Okay.
All right. Let's go to the next question.
Fat meat greasy.
Have you lost interest in things you used to love lately?
Yes.
What are those things?
Don't you feel like everybody does though at a certain point?
I've never lost a love for skating.
That's one thing that you love.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that's the thing that's one thing I really love. Yeah.
That's one thing. Like, do you lose interest in it? Like, to where it doesn't have the same excitement, desire.
Yes.
What?
I guess. For me? Let me think of something that I really lost interest in. I used to like really editing and videotaping a lot. I used to really enjoy it. Like, I used to be really passionate about it.
But then having to do it all the time took that away. Yeah,
because when you becomes like a job, it is not as exciting because it's not like it's like I'm on I have to do a deadline here. It's not like let me be fun and be creative and just play around. It's like I gotta do this here at this deadline, which makes it kind of not as fun. That happened to me with skating too. When I got sponsored, would film and it would be really fun before, but then when I have a deadline for a part, it gets really stressful. It gets real like I don't want to go back and battle again for 3 days for doing the same thing over and over again. It's rarely so. Yeah, there are those moments.
Maybe it's just not losing. I don't think it's necessarily losing love right for it or losing interest. I think it's about more so about like what does this bring to my life? You know what I mean? Like, what does this add to my life? Right? Does it fill my cup? Does it make me more excited to do the rest of the things that I have to deal with in life? Does it help me to do the things that I really don't enjoy doing with more fervor? Like, what is it bringing to my life? And I think those are more moments that I have. Okay. Like, what does this bring to my life? What is its purpose here?
Like, maybe it used to bring something to your life, and at this point, it doesn't really bring that same vigor anymore.
Maybe it doesn't, right? And then you got to look at the ways that you change, right? You got to look at the way that you yourself change and progress over a period of time. Maybe what I needed in this season to fill my cup, what I needed in this season to be happy, I don't need in this next season of my life to be happy.
I can understand.
And it's like evaluating that. So I was coaching right up until COVID, and I thought that I really enjoyed it. I do really enjoy it, but now I'm losing interest in basketball as a whole. Right?
Really?
Yeah, I'm losing interest.
You didn't watch the
Really?
Yeah, I did watch them. I didn't watch all of them. I watched maybe one full game.
So this
whole entire bubble season.
So prior to this, would you be watching a full game and full seasons and stuff?
I would watch a game every time it was televised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every time every time a game was on, I would catch it. And like, it was televised. I was crazy about March Madness, hoop, tournament basketball, college, NBA, football, college football. I really like sports. I'm a sports person. I like competition.
So what changed now?
I don't have the same interest in it.
It doesn't feel you like it used to?
I don't know. I don't have the same interest in it.
And that changed after COVID?
Right around that, yeah.
Do you think because you kind of stepped away from it maybe is why you lost interest?
Well,
was it like a comfort thing before? Like, you did it for so long that it was kind of, do you think? And then once you finally stepped away, it's like, oh, it's not that.
No, I don't think it's, honestly, I don't think it's any of those things. I think it's a matter of having an opportunity to do something, right? That you enjoy. And then once you have the opportunity to do it, you realize the ways in which it's more work than love sometimes, right? Then you have to ask yourself, is the love worth the work?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good even for a relationship too.
Is the love worth the work?
There's a lot of people walking by my window today. Sorry.
They live here.
I know. It's just I don't see people randomly.
Is the love worth the work? I don't know.
Oh, that's
something that nobody else can answer but you.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know.
That's really good. That's a good question for like you're finding your purpose and for like at a relationship, you know.
And you have to do it for everything.
And I think you have to constantly do it. Like you have to keep asking yourself that question. Like after 30 days of doing this project, is it still bringing me as much joy as it was before? You know. Or maybe a little longer, like 70 days, whatever. Okay, let's go to the next question. Do you have a right to be happy, or do you have to earn it?
Everybody has a right to be happy.
Okay, right. Okay.
Everybody has a right to be happy, but just because you have a right to be happy doesn't mean that it's not work. It's not something that just happens. You know what I mean? Like you have to work to be happy. You have to work. You have to work to be happy, right? So
I think
it kind of is something you do earn, right? But I think it's something that you do earn in the sense that you have to work for it. You have to put yourself in positions to be happy. And what I mean by that is there are going to be so many things that you do in your life that drain you, right?
Okay.
And you have to give focus to the things that don't drain you, right? And that's what I mean by filling your cup, right?
Give focus to the things that do not drain you. Okay, yes.
Yeah, sometimes the things that drain you just happen naturally, right? Yeah. I have to go to work. You know what I'm saying? I have to go to work. I have to deal with certain people, right? And in the doing those things, it drains you, right? Yeah. So you have to put that same fervor or focus into something that fills your cup, something that doesn't drain you,
I can
right?
understand
And you have to prioritize that,
yeah,
right? And that's what I mean by you having to work for it. You have to prioritize that.
I understand, because I mean, it's hard to comprehend, because if you have to earn it, then it's not necessarily right, because if you don't earn it, then you won't have it. And if you don't have it, it's not necessarily a right. So it's like, it's almost like a catch-22 to some degree.
Well, because you hear people say that, right? Like, well, I have a right to be happy. You absolutely do have a right to be happy, but then stop looking at the people around you for the reasons. Stop looking at the people and the circumstances around you for the reasons that you're not happy. That's your responsibility.
I agree with that. Because ultimately, you are in charge of your happiness. You can have the worst day and still be really happy.
If Chantel is not happy, that's Chantel's fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not fault like I did something wrong, but like I need to unpack and figure out the reasons why I'm not.
Yeah.
And the things that I can do in my life that will make me. You know what I'm saying?
Because you can always blame somebody else, but I mean, that's kind of like it's a cheap way out. You're not really addressing the issue, which ultimately, they're not in charge of my feelings. I'm in charge of my feelings. I'm in charge of my perspective and my outlook. No matter what you can. A white person can call me a crazy name, but I don't have to take it. I don't have to take it, right? I don't have to take it that way. I can walk and still be just as happy. I'm not saying it's easy to do. I'm not saying I'm there. But what I'm saying, ultimately, if someone, for example, if someone were to call you, let me think of something. I don't know. Give me an insult. What's an insult? I don't know.
Hood rat.
No. Okay. Not. Okay.
Nappy headed hood rat.
Think of nappy headed hood rat, right?
Bald headed scallywag.
Okay. Think about nappy headed hood rat, and then someone calls you bald headed, right? Someone's like, you bald, and clearly you have hair. Are you
it's short.
I mean, but are you gonna take that insult really if someone's saying something that's completely not true?
I don't have no hair, so
you do have clearly hair on your head,
like a little.
You are not bald. You're not even close to being bald, right?
I don't have any hair, so if somebody call me bald head, I'd be like, okay,
right?
Like it's not gonna bother me.
Okay, right. So even though the insult,
but if somebody was like, you ugly, and then I'd be like, ho.
Okay, right.
Stop.
But you see how two insults. One you didn't take personally, one you did. That's the key.
Yes, the layer of the insult is up to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the insult is an insult, but the way you perceive it is the reason why you can go and have a great day. Someone called you bald, and you can care less and go and be just as happy and not even pay any mind to the comment. And you can take the other comment and then be super pissed.
So it's like a slippery slope. It's like a slippery slope. So when you say like us being in charge of our happiness, it's a slippery slope, because the minute you start looking at other people to make you happy is also the minute that you give other people control of your life that they shouldn't have.
100.
Right? your success, right?
Yep.
Based on other people. Your
Yep.
peace based on other people. You know what I mean? Your happiness based on other people. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that you love based on other people. Like that's just a slippery slope, and you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to be in a position where that you'll never be happy, you'll never be at peace, even if you have all of these things.
Yeah.
And all I see, like, I watch a lot of like biopics of like celebrities who end up just being on drugs, right? And they can't deal with it. Like the last one I think I watched was Rocket Man, about Elton John.
Okay.
And really all you see are people who are battling with some form of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because they're battling with some form of themselves, they meet people along the way who take advantage of that, right? And granted, the people ain't shit, right? But they've never been shit, right? They ain't never been shit, but there was something in you that loved them, right? And what that was is the fact that you were battling something in yourself, right? The individual, he ain't never been shit. You know what I mean? He met this dude that I guess he really loved, and the dude ain't never been shit, right?
Okay.
Ever, right? But you were battling with something in yourself that he was able to take advantage of.
Right.
You
so
know?
you use your vulnerability to their advantage.
Yes, and that just breeds more and more of the things that you don't like. Like, he's rich. You know what I mean? You're this rich man. All you wanted to do was make music. You're somewhat of a musical prodigy, the way you're able to play the keyboard.
Yeah.
You have this phenomenal talent. You have this phenomenal skill, but there's something in you, right? That's not happy, where you're looking at other people to fulfill something for you that they can't. So it doesn't matter what you get. It doesn't matter what you get. It doesn't matter how much money you get. It doesn't matter how much success you get. If there's something in you broke, all money is going to do is amplify that. And I think that starts with people not taking control of their own happiness. Yeah. Not taking control of the things that they need to be good. And that don't have nothing to do with nobody else.
Yeah. But I think as a society puts it on other people for happiness, or you look outside for something or seeking happiness in a way that's outside of you. Everything projected is you get the house and you're happy. You get the car, you're happy. You
get the husband.
You get the success,
wife,
then you're happy.
The money.
The things you're always chasing for happiness that is portrayed is always outside of you. And so as a society, it looks like you're supposed to be when you get that, you'll be happy, instead of I'm happy in here. So because I'm happy with me.
Yes. Like, no, straight up, because like the unpacking your bag pieces, me personally, I was one of those people, and still am a little bit, to where it didn't matter what I did, I wasn't satisfied. Okay. It wasn't enough. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't celebrate myself because there was always something else that I was moving toward. There was always something else that I wanted. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to graduate from college. I didn't give a shit about that. Like, I didn't. Like, my mom had to call me and remind me to go pick up my cap and gown.
Oh, really?
Like, straight up. She would be like, Chantel, did you get your cap and gown? No, I didn't get it yet. I don't have the money. I'll give you the money. Like, go get your cap and gown. Like, stuff I didn't care about. Okay. Like, to this day, my degree is in the envelope that it came in. Really? It's not in a frame. I didn't buy a frame for it. I don't even know where the envelope is, to be honest with you. But there are certain things that don't mean anything to me because it was just a stepping stone for me to get to law school. That's what it was at the time, right? So none of this means anything. What do you want for graduation? I want to be in law school. Like, I don't care about nothing. I didn't care about the party. I didn't care about the ceremony. I didn't care about the honors ropes. Like, I didn't even buy my honors ropes. Like, I don't care about none of this shit. And, and first of all, the fact that you have to pay for all of that is fucked up. Like, the fact that you have to buy the cap, buy the gown, buy the honors ropes, you know what I'm saying? And all of the accolades that you just, it should be. It's not. You have to pay for all of that stuff.
I didn't know.
So I didn't buy the honors rope. My mom had to give me the money for the cap and gown because I didn't care about none of it. So
interesting. So you were in your head, you were like, my goal is getting into law school. Yeah. And that's when the I made it kind of thing, right?
Yes. And it's to the point where, like, nothing that I ever did was good enough because I always wanted more than what I had. Okay. You know what I mean? Now, but that's twofold, right? It's one thing to be ambitious and to want more. In fact, that's a good thing. But it's never a good thing to be so ambitious, right? And to want so much that you lose sight of the blessing that you have right in front of you. Yeah. It's really a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, because because think about it, you'll continue to chase something and never be fulfilled at any moment.
And here's the thing, and once you chase, and here's what I finally got, like a couple months ago, what I finally understood was that there's something in you, right, that you need to fix, that you need to correct, because even if you get it, Even if you get the world, it still ain't gonna feel like it.
It's that hole.
It's still not gonna feel like it. There's still gonna be a void, right? There's still not gonna feel like it, boo. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get it, right? And that's what I experienced. I was in law school, right? Like, I finally got it. Years after I thought I was supposed to, I finally got it. But even when I got it, you got what you this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for, and then when you get it, it's still a hole there. You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing to be ambitious and to want more, and I think you need that.
Yeah,
I really do.
agree.
I really do. But you also can never get to the point where you overlook the blessings that are staring you in the face. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you overlook the stuff that you already came through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You overlook the ways that you've already progressed, the ways that you've already grown. You take that for granted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. You absolutely cannot. It's a recipe for disaster.
And that's why it goes to like going back to enjoying the process. Because if you can find the enjoyment in the process of getting to law school, you would have found those moments of happiness all along the way.
Instead, it was a checklist, like a list. Check, 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 check. You're looking for something else to do.
Yeah, and it sucks because I don't think a lot of people realize that. I mean, it took me a long time to figure that out too. And I think from hearing people, I kind of learned it so much. But it's like we go and it's like it just the money thing. I think the biggest thing is success. When people think about happiness, they think about success. And success comes with money, cars, jets, lavish vacations, lifestyle, all these things, you know. And so as a society, we go chasing those things thinking that's the fulfillment. That when I get the car, when I get my Challenger, I'm going to be happy. But what happens after you get the car? Then after a few months, it becomes a normal car again. It becomes a normal car, and you're gonna look for something else to look to get to happiness again.
And then dude.
So we're chasing a bunch of surface things. It's like temporary pleasures. It's like putting a Band-Aid on it to make it feel good, but you gushing out, but nobody can see it
because that internal piece is never actually fulfilled. Like I don't know who said it first, but I think Diddy and Mace was prophetic when they said more money, more problems.
Man, but it's true. It's true. It is true.
The more money we come across, the
I've
more
noticed
problems we see.
when I've elevated in my career that I just have more things that I own that I have to take care of now,
bruh, and the bills.
And so what I had to realize is
that's what they don't tell you about more money, folks.
And what they don't tell you is you have to get your spending habits way in control before you make money. Because as a person who was making $20 an hour at one point and now makes more than that, but then I realized I am breaking even at this. When I was making $20 an hour, I was coming home with this amount of money.
Preach.
When I make more, I'm still coming home with that same amount of money.
Preach.
So what did I realize is not about having more money. It's about my spending habits and how I can do what do I need to do for myself to change? Because if I keep elevating my lifestyle with how much money I'm getting, I will always be broke.
You better say that again.
I will always be broke
because
I'm not going to be able to sustain that life. If I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment and then I get a raise and I immediately move to a 2-bedroom or to a house, that means I have less money coming in, which means I have more stuff to pay for and less money, which is just how it was before.
Stop it. That's absolutely the truth. If you're broke making $20 an hour, like if you don't master how to make $20 an hour work for you, when you start to make 30, 40, 50, 100, like, you know what I'm saying, 6 figures, it's going to look like $20 an hour.
Yeah, because you're
putting your money in a bag with holes in it.
Yeah, you're putting on stuff that's just going to depreciate or not make you any money. And I think we have another conversation about that because we got to look at spending money in our community.
Yes.
We got to look at what are we going to buy that's going to make money, because as a lot of times we're consumers, and understand me, I think when you come from not having nothing or anything, you want those things, you know, because you think it's going to make you happy. Yeah. It's a catch-22. It is. It's like, make more money to become more happy, to get more stuff. You was cool driving a Civic, you know what I'm saying? But you want to stunt. But now you want to stunt. Now you want a BMW. Yeah, which I'm not saying wanting things is bad. I mean, I want to clarify. I don't think that having things is not. But I think that you need to prioritize when you get those things. Yeah. You don't need to get those because you just got a raise. Maybe save some more money.
Prioritize. You got to.
Save some more money to buy things that will make you money so that you don't have to pay for that thing necessarily itself. And then you can have the car. You never lost any money. You know, so I mean, it goes deep. It goes deep.
It's real deep.
But it's a psychological way of spending, though, because the spending makes you feel good. When I buy a new camera, it feels great. When I get a new lens, it feels bomb. Yep. When I go out and get some, like, it feels good. I mean, it does feel good, and it's addicting.
All in. Like, here's the thing.
And then you want to flaws. You want people to see. You want people to see, like, yeah, I got it.
Stunt. As I've grown up, things have been less important to me. What's more important to me, honestly, is traveling. Like, that's those experience. That's what's important. That's what's important to me. Like, me spending all of my money and going to another country for 2 weeks and coming back broke, I'm okay with that.
You know, that's really
like the way that people are okay with, like, you know, getting a BMW and, like, you know what I'm saying, having shoes. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with coming back broke if I just spent 2 weeks in Vietnam. I'm okay with that.
As long as you're happy, right?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. And I'm not knocking. If you want Jordans or Beam, that's totally fine.
Spend your money how you want to spend it. I like tennis shoes,
you know,
too.
That's cool. I don't think it's bad to want those nice things. I just think if you're going to go about it, don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be worse off.
And some people
that's what I say.
Then it's a balance, though. And it's a balance because if you're working hard, right? And you get up, you work hard for the money. I know we all do. You know what I'm saying? We work hard for the money. So if the way that you reward yourself after working hard for the money is a pair of J's, like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to knock you, right? Yeah. But then you got to understand at a certain point, you need to understand the ways your money is being spent and how that affects you long term, right? Yes. So if you got your shit set up to where I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, and at the end of 2 weeks, I could go get my, you know what I'm saying? Whatever fills my cup. Like, pre-COVID, I used to get my nails done every 2 weeks religiously. I didn't care how much it cost.
Okay, really?
And I would get my feet done and my hands done religiously.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's you.
And I'm going to a nice shop, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get, you know, the $65 pedicure, not the $25 pedicure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me, right?
Understandable.
But if the shit is paid, you know what I mean? If you're being responsible with your money, you know what I'm saying? Then those things are okay. But if that is preventing you from saving, don't do it. If those things prevented me from traveling, right, which is what I care about, right, which is ultimately what I care about, then I wouldn't do it. If those things prevented me from being able to do anything that I wanted to do, right, financially, then I wouldn't do it. Right. And I think as we get older, we have different priorities. Now my priorities is like, I want to buy a house, right? So I'm not gonna get my nails done. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get the $50 pedicure. I'm going to get the $20 pedicure.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because you have a goal that you want to achieve.
Nigga got priorities now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's...
You said something really interesting, and this is not what we were supposed to talk about today, but I was reading something, because, you know, have you heard that cliche, like, as you get older, time goes faster? You know, as you get older, kind of like, feels like the years are blowing by. Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, because next week is Christmas.
Right, you know, like, 2020 is pretty much over, right?
Next week, Christmas.
So I was looking up, like, why does that happen? Like, why is it that when you're younger, like, for example, when you're little and you're waiting for Christmas, that month of December felt like eternity, right? So
bro,
it feels like
you're
waiting. You know, you're waiting as a kid, and it's like taking forever to get to Christmas. And then when you're older, you're like, Christmas been and gone 3 times. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, why is it that time goes faster as you get older? So I reading the study, I think it was on psychologytoday.com, and they were talking about when you're younger, you time seems to be slower for you because you're having so many more new experiences in your life that it makes it seem like, because you're the new experience, you're gathering in more information, that when you start getting into the redundant, everyday, mundane, the monotony, the routine, it starts to blend your days in together as like you don't really have separation.
There's no separation.
So what they're saying is, if you want to have a more fulfilled or longer feeling life, the time is always the same. Time doesn't go faster. You just perceive it slow or not. But what they say is, if you want, pick up something to do, like every year, like decide to pick up a new skill or a new habit that you want to do.
To make the time go slower?
No, because you'll realize, like, as you're learning or doing a new experience, that when you look back on it, you'll seem like it didn't go as fast. That's what they're saying. It's really interesting.
That's interesting, but like, so I'm kind of 50-50 because like time has been speeding by, right? And I feel some type of way about that. However, I don't think I want it to go slower. So it's like,
I mean, because it's like every day you're getting older, and it's like you're gonna look up, you're gonna be 40 one day. Like, I'm 32, and I'm like, dang, I'm 32. Like, I remember when I was 21, week. 22, 23, 25.
Yo, the way 2020 went by, how it just went from New Year's to fucking March COVID to fucking October.
Yeah, I feel like it jumped. I feel like we went. I feel like we skipped from March to October.
Yeah, where was the summer? There was a summer. I don't remember it.
Well, I think it's because everything's open back up.
Yeah, maybe it's why it's starting to become like,
I still gotta eat outside though.
I'm just not gonna do that. I eat at home.
And like like the pedicure chairs is still in the parking lot. So
are you gonna have your feet out there like hello?
No, I'm not like that's not fun for me. Like it's not fun for me to go get a pedicure and be sweating. Like that's not fun for me. That's not relaxing.
Yeah.
You know, same thing like with going out to eat. Like I don't even like that. Like it's hot out here. It's bugs flying.
How do you feel about men? How would you feel about a man if you're dating this man and he's getting pedicures and manicures all the time? Like as often you would that be something a weird thing to you?
I have a thing about feet in general. Like I just think feet are gross. So
me too. I think they're weird.
It's fucking disgusting. Sorry. Like people put their feet near me, next to me, and I will like bug out.
Okay, that's not that bad for me.
No, I'll bug out.
I just think like there's nothing about them that's like.
No, my mom and my little brother used to do it just to get on my nerves. I hate feet. Like
you don't want to see my feet.
Put them near me, next to me. I don't want to see them. You're absolutely right. I don't. I have no desire.
Oh man, you know.
If I was dating a man that took pride in getting his feet done, I would appreciate that.
Oh, okay, good.
I would appreciate that because it's disgusting. Like yes, you need to get your toenails trimmed professionally. It's okay. Like they're not gonna hurt you.
I honestly didn't think that men did it. I think. Excuse me. I think my ideology was like men don't do that.
Yes, they should.
But as I've done it one time.
Because there are some men who will go to the beach and not take their socks off. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm like crusty feet or not, I'm gonna have my socks off.
Like,
I'm just gonna.
Like
I'm like,
if your feet are that crusty, like there are people who can fix that. So if you're walking around with crusty feet, it's just because you want crusty feet.
No,
like that's the reason. Because there are people, and even if you don't want people fixing your feet, like there are materials, there are tools that you could use to make your feet not crusty. So if anybody has crusty feet in 2020, it's because they want crusty feet.
I have crusty feet.
You want crusty feet?
I don't want crusty feet.
Yes, you do.
Honestly, I never prioritized my feet because I just didn't think about them. I'm just like, no one look at them anyway.
It's cool with you to have crusty feet.
No, it's not. It's not cool. I was not aware that I had crusty feet. I just didn't think about it.
You had crusty feet?
Who you think? I'm not gonna say no names, but yes, I found out that I had crusty feet.
I feel like if you have crusty feet, it's because you want crusty feet and they're not a priority.
No,
and that's cool. Like we all gotta prioritize different stuff. But
yeah,
like,
honestly, I'm a guy who had crusty. I didn't realize because you know what it taught me? I was watching the show. There was like a foot doctor show, and they were like
the
repairing.
hell kind of shit you be watching?
No, so it's like you know like the Dr. Pimple Popper. You ever heard of them?
Hell no.
Okay, well they have a show where they pop pimples, but anyways, these are feet doctor.
The only thing I watch on TV right now is The Flash.
Do you watch The Flash? I keep
Netflix.
hearing that this show is really good.
Dude, so first of all, The Flash has been on for 6 seasons.
And all the other Marvel characters, the shows go around it, right?
The Flash is DC. Calm down.
Robin. Robin.
I'm gonna need you to get your universes together.
You're right.
The Flash is DC.
You're right. Dang,
Arrow is the other one.
Okay.
And DC Legends of Tomorrow is all of the shows that come on.
I haven't watched any of these shows. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Along with Black Lightning. Okay, I love comic book shows and movies. I love them. Super nerd. I love it.
Okay, good.
So I just want to know whoever knew that The Flash was on for 6 seasons and did not tell me about it.
My brother.
We're not friends. We're not friends because now I'm binge watching it and literally I have not watched anything else for like 2 weeks other than The Flash.
My brother's been telling me for years to watch The
good.
Flash. She's been telling me for years. I'm like, nah,
it's good. I'm
gonna check it out. But no, so back to my so we're watching this show. She's putting on the game. Sorry. And it's called it's like the foot doctor or something, and they go and they repair these people's feet that are all like mangled and messed up. And I'm like, some dude had his feet and he would never take his socks off when he went outside or ever. And I'm like, it can't be that bad, And I look at his feet; they were just like mangled up and like crooked together. I'm like, gross.
I can't.
I don't
want to talk about this.
So hold on. So then I seen another guy. And he had like a bunion, and stuff, and it wasn't that bad. But I'm like, dang, his feet is kind of crusty. I'm looking at it like, I've never seen feet like they're not bad, but they are kind of like they're kind of crusty. Like maybe you should take care of his feet. And then I looked at mine and I said, oh my gosh, they look like my feet. And I was like, I have crusty feet. And it was like maybe a few months ago, and I realized like, oh my gosh, I gotta take care of my feet. So I got a scrubber, got a pumice stone.
How old are you?
Feet. I'm 32.
And you just got this revelation at 32?
I never looked at my feet, or I never look at them. I don't like, hey, let me look at my feet and see. So that's what happened. So that's how I found out I had crusty feet. I'm a changed man now. My feet are looking better. Not the woods, but they're better. But I don't like feet either.
I don't want to.
I think I don't like feet. Maybe that's why I never looked at my feet, because I don't like feet. Have you thought about that? No. All right. Well, anyways,
I don't have nothing. Like I don't have nothing for that. No, I'm not. I can't church.
Oh my gosh, man!
I don't know. At this rate, I'm ready to end it. So
I'm just saying. I think that was.
So join us next week on the Unpack Your Bag podcast, where we're not talking about Anthony's feet.
Well, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just being honest and transparent. People out there need to know because they may have crusty feet and not realize it.
I don't care. I don't care about anybody else's feet.
I'm just saying somebody out there may be insecure.
And the only reason why I care about my feet is because they're attached to my body. Like, let's keep it real. Like, I don't do feet. I don't care.
So if you don't like feet, you wouldn't care if they're nasty or good.
My feet?
No, in general.
I care about my feet because they're attached to my body.
What? You ever suck somebody's toes?
Hell no.
Air vibes. You better get. I'll never. I think that's one of the most disgusting things. That is one of the most disgusting things.
Hell no. And to be honest with you, I don't even want nobody to suck my toes.
I think it's weird. It's like that just feels weird.
No, thank you.
My wife, she's like, said, would you kiss my toe? I'm like, why? I would never do that. Like, she was like a joke. Like, would you kiss my toe? Come on, baby. I'll rub your feet, but I'm not gonna. You know better. Come on. Stop. No, I was like, no. She was like, it's a joke because she knows I don't like it. I'm like, no. Like, it's just like,
no, thank you.
So
we can stop talking.
I guess now we learned about each other and our feet. I hope your feet are okay.
All right, so that's enough. That's too much. So, it took up too much of the conversation.
That was like literally 4 minutes.
That's 4 minutes too long.
Oh goodness. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up for today's Unpack Your Bag podcast.
And we ended it on feet.
Yes. You got something else? We can go back to the curls. We can finish that story.
I quit. Stop talking about my hair. I had a bad Saturday, and it didn't stay straight.
That's okay.
I like the curls. They're really cute.
Thank you, Michaela.
I think the curls are good. I think both hairstyles are good. They fit you.
It's going to be pressed again.
I just thought it was funny because you had a whole statement.
I'm getting it pressed again on Friday. So.
Hey, do you. But I think either way looks good on you.
Hopefully it's still straight on Wednesday.
I just think whatever you want to do is best. So if you want curls, do the curls. If you want straight, do it straight. That's cool. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this episode of Unpack Your Bag Podcast.
Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that's longer than 5.
And please, I hope that I remember to do this in the beginning because I say this almost every podcast, and yet I continue to forget in the beginning. Yes, do it just like that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chantel, for this this amazing epic episode of crazy and all this. No, I'm
glad that you. I'm really happy that you found your inner shout. Like, I'm so happy that you found your inner shout. I really am.
I learned this in real time with you.
And wait till you get the.
You hear it's so good. How does she do it? So perfect. I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chantel, so much. We're gonna end it right now. Peace, love, and hair grease. Talk to y'all soon. You want to shout on the way out? I love it.
How you feeling? How you living? Yeah. How you feeling? How you chilling? Well, alright. From the floor to the ceiling, everyone in the building, if you're feeling alright. Well, alright.